evening. My name is Niambi, and tonight we are going to have a deep stretch class. And you can start on your back, on your mat, on your back, any recline position that's comfortable. You can lay across your bolster. I'm going to start in recline bound angle. What else? Thank you for taking class with You Call This Yoga. You Call This Yoga is a nonprofit that provides free yoga classes. So if you have not been to the website, if you're interested in more information or other ways that you can support, you can visit them at youcallthisyoga.org. Hi, Suzanne. And hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello. So we were just getting started. I'm Niambi, and this is going to be deep stretch. And I will apologize in advance. I don't know if you can hear my dog whining and crying. I guess he just wanted to show out tonight. But this is going to be deep stretch. You guys can start on your back. You can lay on a bolster or flat on your back. Recline bound angle if that's more comfortable, and we will just get started. So I am going to lay on my bolster, and I am going to start in recline bound angle. Fold my feet together and just begin to release the day and let the day melt away. You guys just settle for a moment. Okay. And just notice your breath. There's no particular breathing pattern to begin with. Just notice your natural breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And just begin to let your body release into the mat. And breathe. Notice the points of your body that are in contact with the mat. Feel the support of the mat. And breathe. So we'll stay here for a few more breaths. On your next inhale, you'll slowly draw your knees together. Place your feet flat on the mat. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So you want to slowly and gently drop your knees over. I'm sorry. If you are on a bolster, you want to remove the bolster from behind you, move it off to the side so that you are flat on the mat. And then slowly drop your knees over to the left. Your arms out in a T. And you can take your gaze over to the right. And breathe. And just begin to settle in. And feel if you need to make any adjustments. In deep stretch, we hold the poses anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, which allows our body, time, and gravity to support us in the release. On your inhale, you fill up. And on the exhale, you may see if your body has any more space to give, especially when we're in these twists. And breathe. If you want, you can take your left hand and place it on the top of your right knee. That will help deepen the stretch. And breathe. So on your next inhale, you'll engage your core and slowly draw your knees back up to center. And when you're ready, you can drop them over toward the right. And if it's in your practice, you can take your gaze over your left shoulder and breathe. If you need to reset your shoulders or make any adjustments, feel free. And just allow your body to settle in. So my intention that I have carried for the month of July, that I will continue with this evening, is restoration and recalibration. And so although we are in the middle of summer, July is also the halfway point of the year. And so sometimes we just don't realize how much we've gone, how much we've done, how much effort we've exerted since January. And this is a perfect time to slow down, to reassess, to participate in practices that allow our mind, body, and spirit to experience restoration, and to also use this time to recalibrate, to review any plans or goals that we may have had, and prepare for the second half of the year. If that resonates with you, you can carry it through with you for practice this evening. If you have another intention or something else that speaks to your heart, you can carry that as your intention for class. And breathe. Again, if you want to place your right hand on top of your left knee, draw your knees up slightly. That will help deepen the stretch. And breathe. If you feel any tension or resistance, send your breath to that space. And breathe into it. And breathe. So on your next inhale, slowly engage your core and slowly draw your knees back up through center. And place the soles of your feet down on your mat. Readjust your hips and your shoulders as needed. And then we will draw our knees in for full wind relieving pose. This is a perfect place if you want to point and flex your feet. Do any ankle circles. You can squeeze in nice and tight. Maybe rock side to side if that feels good. Squeeze in, point and flex. And when you're ready, we're going to hold on to the right knee. We're going to straighten the left leg down on our mat. And we'll just squeeze this right knee in. Relax your shoulders, no tension. You don't want to be all pent up. And on your next inhale, we'll straighten the right leg up. Now you can grab your right leg wherever you can reach. It can be your ankle, your calf, behind your knee. Again, you can point and flex here. And you can just massage into that hamstring. If your hamstrings are tight, massage up the back of the leg, massage behind the knee, massage up the calf, and breathe. Remember to relax your shoulders. Sometimes we are relaxed and then we don't even notice once we tense up, especially in our shoulders. So we'll just come right back down that hamstring one more time. And then we'll slowly float the right leg down to meet the left. And then draw the left knee into your chest and give it a nice tight squeeze. Again, you can do some ankle circles here. Point and flex. And just be sure to relax your shoulders. No tension. And when you're ready, we'll slowly straighten that leg up to the ceiling. And then wherever you can reach behind the ankle, and just come down, massage the back of the calf. Massage behind your kneecap. Remember to breathe. Massage into that quad muscle. No, not quad. Hamstrings. Quad is on the top. Massage back up the knee, behind the calf, up to the ankle if you can reach. Breathe, inhale and exhale. And then slowly drop your left leg down to meet the right and squeeze them both in. One more time for a nice, tight, wind-relieving pose. You can rock side to side. One more time to massage your lower back. And when you're ready, we're going to rock up to a seated position. Bring your knees behind you, and we're going to make our way to all fours. When you're in all fours, you want to make sure your joints are stacked. So you want to make sure you have hips over knees, shoulder over elbow, over wrist. And we're going to take a few rounds of cat and cow. So when you drop down, drop your abdominal toward the mat. Inhale for cow. Slightly tilt your head. And then on your exhale, arch up like an angry cat. You look back toward your belly button. That's where your gaze is. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. You can rotate your hips. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Side to side as you need. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. You can press back, maybe rock side to side, get a little bit of an ankle stretch. You can come forward, get a little wrist stretch if that's in your practice. And then we're going to head to child's pose. So child's pose, we'll put our two big toes together. Rest your hips back. Reach your hands forward and rest your head on the mat. And breathe. So on your next inhale, you'll slowly begin to walk your hands back. You'll bring your knees in And we're going to do a toe stretch. So you come back on all fours just for a moment and then tuck your toes. And you want to make sure that even your little baby toes are tucked. So you tuck your little baby toes. You can have your knees together or you can have them open, hips width distance apart. And then just slowly come to an upright position and rest back into that toe stretch. And while the toes are stretching, you can maybe do some head circles. Slowly and gently. Toe stretch oftentimes isn't the most comfortable. Our feet do so much for us. And they need a good stretch and some attention at the end of the day. If you are taking neck circles, you can go in the opposite direction. We'll be here just for a few more seconds. You can do some shoulder shrugs, shoulder rolls, back. Maybe bring them forward and breathe. And 5, 4, almost there. 3, 2, and 1. So you slowly come back down to all fours. Gently and carefully untuck your toes. Maybe you pat them out on the mat. That helps. And then we're going to do some wrist stretches. So with the wrist stretch, touch your toes as much as you need because we did hold that stretch for a good little while. But when you're ready, you'll turn your fingers so that they are facing your body and your forearms are facing the top of your mat. And then you just want to slowly lean back to get a slight stretch in your wrist. No pressure. You should not feel pinching. If you do, just come back up and ease up on the stretch. But just find your edge. Find where you can go with it. And once you're there, settle in and find your breath. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Two more. And 1 more. And slowly come up. And you slowly turn your wrist forward. And maybe you just sit back for a moment and take a few wrist circles, maybe back and forth, whatever you need to just release that stretch. Maybe you clasp your hand and even just massage the wrist because that was a pretty deep stretch that we did. Yeah. And so next we are going to come back on all fours. We're going to press up just into a soft downward facing dog. Just press up into down dog. We're not going to be here long. We're just going to use it to transition. So you can paddle your feet slightly for just a few moments. And when you're ready, just step up to the top of your mat. And we'll inhale, forward fold. You can grab your elbows Maybe sway side to side and really feel the stretch up the back of your legs, come across your glutes and then down your back to your head. You want to make sure your neck is not stiff and really just feel that stretch up the back of the legs and breathe. And when you're ready, we'll just take an inhale and we will rise up to tall mountain. Bring your hands down to heart center and we'll turn forward on our mat and we will prepare for Malasana squat. So with Malasana squat, you take your feet about hips width distance apart. You can use a block if you have a block. If you want to come down and sit on a block. If Malasana squat is not in your practice, so let's do it this way first. So you're going to come down. I kind of sway back and forth. I put my hands down on my mat. And once I'm settled in, you can put your hands at heart center. If you want to use the block, you can just place a block behind you, come down on the block, hands at heart center. If Malasana squat is not in your practice, then you can take a variation of chair pose. So you come up, squat down, and just take your arms up, engage your core. So you decide what you need this evening. I am going to head down into Malasana. Only be here for a few moments. If you are really open in this squat, you can, once you get settled in, you can leave your arms out and that will deepen in the hips. But you can also just bring the arms to heart center and breathe. Take 3 more breaths here. Two more. One more. And release. You can place your hands on the mat, pivot your feet out, straighten up, and then slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Bringing your head up last, very last. And then you'll just pivot back to the top of your mat. And we will inhale, arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to downward facing dog. And then you can come down to all fours and make your way to an easy seat, Sukhasana, easy seat. You can have your feet crisscrossed if that's in your practice. Actually, we're going to come to butterfly. Sorry about that. So bring your feet to butterfly. Again, you can use a block. We're going to take a forward fold in this butterfly position. So you can place a block in between your legs. You can open your feet slightly and place the block there. You can stack the blocks as high as you need to. So mine, I'm going to close my feet, but keep the blocks here. And then you just want to actually open my feet. Rest your head, rest your arms, And breathe. With deep stretch, the longer we're in the pose, the more space your body may make. So you may start here with the blocks, and then if your body gives you a little more room, maybe you remove one block and then you hang. And maybe by the end of it, you've removed both blocks. Or you can keep them both, whatever is in your practice today. And breathe. And remember, you can use any variation of how you need to stack the blocks. And breathe. And a few more moments in this pose. And breathe. And sway side to side if that helps your body. Give you a little more space. On the inhale, you fill up. The exhale, you see if there's any more room, any more space. And breathe. On your next inhale, just slowly walk your hands up. Bring your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your head last. And breathe. So maybe draw your knees in and we'll take a few passes of windshield wiper. And just take nice and slow so that you really feel the stretch in your lower back, down your thighs. We'll take 2 more passes. Nice and slow and intentional. And next, we're going to head to pigeon pose. Now, if you have a favorite way to get into pigeon, use it. But I get into pigeon through downward facing dog because it's just a really deep stretch for me. So I find we're going to go into pigeon on the right side. I press my right leg back and use that momentum to draw it forward. I use my hands. I use whatever I need to set up in this pigeon. And then come down. Now, in pigeon, you want to make sure that your weight is evenly distributed on your hips. So you don't want to be rocked over or like just dumping into your right side. You want to be up on the hips. And whatever your hands need to do, you can be on your elbows. If you are not prepared to be down on your elbows, you can come here. If it's in your practice to be all the way down flat, you can do that. And once you find your place, just settle in and find your breath. And breathe. And breathe. Remember, we are never stuck. If you ever need to come out of a pose and then go back in, feel free. And breathe. Deep stretch definitely pushes us to an edge, and it requires that we stay in it just a little longer. Maybe focus on your breath. If thoughts try to come, if discomfort begins to come, just go inward. Focus on your breath. Just stay in it. And breathe. Now a few more breaths here. And then we will press out of this pose, out of this side, and prepare for half pigeon on the other side. So on your next inhale, use your hands to slowly press up. Roll over towards your right side. You can maybe bring that left leg around to the front. Unfold that right leg. If you need to massage anything, I know sometimes for me, this irritates my knees. And then we'll just take 2 passes of windshield wiper just to release. And when you're ready, you'll set up for pigeon on the left side. If you got there through downward facing dog, you can do it that way. If you just went straight to pigeon, you can do that. Whenever you need, if maybe walking your dog out helps a little, you can do that first. And when you're ready, just land in pigeon. Take your time and set your body up however you need to. And then just settle in and land there and breathe. And breathe. We carry so much of our day-to-day, so much of our emotions settle in our hip area. And so sometimes these deep hip opening poses can trigger up emotions or thoughts. Just know there's nothing required of you but to let them come and let them go. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. We're more than halfway through this pose. I remember a few years back, I had a yoga instructor, and she would always say, at the moment that you want to come out of it, hold the pose. I carry that on in life. There are moments and situations that I don't want to stay in, that start to get uncomfortable, that I would rather just retreat from. And I'm reminded that sometimes I just need to hold the pose. I need to stay in the discomfort or the tension just long enough for it to be transformative. And that's what happens with these deep stretch poses. When we hold them just long enough, they really get deep into our muscles, into our tendons, into the fascia, into our bodies, and they are able to help us transform. So your next inhale, you'll slowly take your hands and press up. And then you can roll towards your left. So roll out of that pigeon pose. Bring that right leg around. Unfold the left. And again, we'll just take 2 passes of windshield wiper. And then we're going to make our way down to our backs. We're going to do a little bit of core engagement to get there. So we'll just spread our legs out in front of us. Engage your core nice and tight. Flex your feet. Reach your arms. And just try to lower down with as much intention as possible. And breathe. And breathe. Oh. And when you get here, just settle down for a moment. We are going to go into Happy Baby. So in Happy Baby, you want to have the soles of your feet are as if you are standing on the ceiling. When you're ready, you can reach for the outer blades. Well, actually, you can hold for Happy Baby in 2 ways. You can hold the outer blades, or you can hold behind your knees, still with the soles of the feet, that energy as if you're standing on the ceiling. So you can hold here, or you can grab the outer blades and open your feet up toward the ceiling and just have that downward energy as if you're drawing your knees down toward the mat. Tuck your tailbone, press it down toward the mat. And breathe. Now you can stay in happy baby in a very grounded way, or you can rock your baby. So you can rock side to side. That's going to give you a different kind of stretch in the lower back. Rock side to side. And breathe. Or you come back to center and ground down. We are a little more than halfway through the pose. Find your breath. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. So on your next inhale, you slowly bring your feet down, draw your knees in, bring the soles of your feet to your mat, and we're going to go to waterfall. I'm going to do it supported. So if you have a block, you press your feet into the mat, lift your hips up, place your block. If you don't have a block, that is fine. You just take your legs up as if you're doing like legs up the wall. And then you just bring them up to waterfall. You can point and flex your feet. Maybe do ankle circles. And breathe. And inversions are a really good way to help our body relax, helps release and relax our central nervous system. It's a good pose to take before bedtime. If your bed happens to be near a wall, you can spin around, put your legs up the wall for a few moments before bed, and it just helps bring everything down and relax. Continue to breathe. You're almost there. So on your next inhale, slowly bend your knees, place them down on the mat, press your hips up, and remove your block. And we're going to head to banana pose. So straighten your legs out flat, open your legs wide on your mat, take up space, put your arms up wide, take up space. We're going to go to the left side first. So you'll bring your right leg over toward the left, cross it over your left ankle, and then you bring your right arm over toward your left, And you can take your left hand and grab your right arm and just begin to settle in. And so, excuse me, that waterfall worked. And so the closer you move your arms and your feet toward each other, you're making like a C shape, a banana shape, the deeper the stretch will be on your right side body. So however deep you need it, just know you continue to move your feet and your hands toward each other, and that will deepen it. And now just find your breath. And breathe. And breathe. So on your next inhale, you slowly release your bind. So uncross your right leg, release your right wrist, and just straighten back up on your mat. Reset your hips if you need to. And when you're ready, first take your right foot and your right leg toward the right side, and then begin to shift and bring your left leg, cross it over, and bring your left arm and grab that left wrist with your right hand and breathe. Just settle in. And breathe. Remember, if you want to deepen the stretch, the closer you bring your hands and your feet, the more of a C you make, and that will give you a deeper stretch up that left side body. We are almost done. A few more seconds in this stretch. And breathe. So in your next inhale, release your bind, uncross your left foot, release your left wrist, and straighten back up on your mat. And now we'll take any last minute movements before we head to Shavasana. So that can be a full body stretch. Maybe you squeeze in for one more full wind relieving pose. Rock side to side. Give yourself a nice tight hug and squeeze in. Whatever you need, and when you're ready, just set yourself up for Shavasana. If you want to use a blanket, if you want to put your bolster behind your knees, I'm going to grab a blanket. Whatever you need for Shavasana to set up for a nice, comfy Shavasana and find rest.
Release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer.
So slowly begin to bring your awareness back into the space. You can wiggle your toes, flutter your eyelids, and when you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side. You can use your arm as a prop or pillow. We end our practice in Shavasana, which is corpse pose, a pose of surrender. And then we come here to fetal posture, which is a representation and reminder of new beginnings. At the end of every ending is the next step toward a new beginning. You can take your hand and press up to a seated position. You can bring your hands to heart center if that's in your practice. I appreciate each of you taking time out of your Thursday to join me and allow me to guide you through your practice. I do not take it for granted, and my heart definitely feels much gratitude. You can bring your hands to the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. The light in me sees, honors, and appreciates the light in each of you. Namaste.